Fantasy creatures that got an extreme makeover. Many creatures you watch in movies look drastically different from how they were drawn or described in the past, specifically in medieval Europe. When Christianity was spreading in Europe, monks would record stories from European natives about the creatures in pagan folklore and mythology. The monks drew these creatures as the locals described them. But keep in mind that these monks were in foreign lands interpreting foreign folklore as they understood it. So it's likely that they did not accurately interpret what the native Europeans told them. As time went by, the creatures described in these manuscripts have gone through an extreme makeover. Here are the 3 creatures that went through a major transformation. The first creature is the mermaid. Now, the mermaid is a creature that is present in every region of the world in different renditions. In Europe, mermaids were initially considered as a bad omen for seafarers or anyone living close to the sea. Some cultures refer to them as sirens. Medieval Europeans drew mermaids as creatures that had the head and body of a human with 2 fish tails below the waist. In contemporary art, they are conceived the same way except they have only 1 fish tail. Mermaids could appear as male to female humans and female to male humans when they wanted to seduce humans and pull them back into the sea. If a person disappeared or when a ship sank, it was often blamed on mermaids. In the modern world, mermaids have been reinterpreted as creatures that live in harmony with other sea creatures. Mermaids in the contemporary world do not want to be involved with humans and are completely introverted. Dragons have also experienced an extreme transformation. The most noticeable transformation is their size. Dragons are depicted in the Middle Ages in Europe to be the size of a large animal such as a horse or cow. But in the modern world, most depictions of dragons show them as large fire-breathing creatures. Medieval scribes drew them in various ways. Some drew them as lizard-like creatures with wings, but now they have more distinct look from other lizards. They are now huge fire-breathing monsters that can sometimes be sentient or insentient. Sentient here means that they can be conscious beings that can communicate with humans, while insentient means that they seek only to satiate their hunger like a shark would in the ocean. Another creature that has received an extreme makeover is the elf. Elves, as we understand them in our contemporary world, are tall, graceful, and beautiful. But elves in medieval Europe were actually considered to be diminutive or small creatures that had the appearance of an old man. Only the female elves were portrayed as beautiful in the medieval era. In fact, they were sometimes depicted as evil tricksters, fairies, or as nature spirits. However, J.R.R. Tolkien's conception of elves in The Lord of the Rings is not necessarily inaccurate. Some experts argue that the elves in medieval Europe were actually not accurate physical depiction of elves. Apparently, elves in Nordic folklore are similar to the elves in The Lord of the Rings, physically and socially. Nordic elves were supposed to be noble, graceful lovers of nature rather than the homely-looking elves of medieval Europe. These creatures have gotten a major makeover into the cool, fantastical creatures we watch in movies. We can do the same for creatures in African folklore without copying concepts from European mythology. That is all I have today. Please subscribe and click the bell icon to get notifications whenever I post new videos. Thank you and goodbye.